Thanks, bub. Hey, this is Bratwurst Paps here with my shite-down breakdown of the Bears and their suckitude. I need to place the blame firmly on which I would like to refer to as the California connection, in particular, Laguna Beach. Jay Cutler marries young starlet Kristen Cavallari, who once starred on MTV's teen drama reality series Laguna Beach, and we all know what a complete manipulative nightmare she was on that. Hell, she drove Jason right in the bottle and straight into rehab. What chance does Cutler have? And don't even get me going on what she did to poor Lauren Conrad. What Jay should have done is married Lo Bosworth. Super hot, fun, nice, and completely underrated, just like the box score. Start right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long and appropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. You guys talked baseball today, in particular the Cubs acquiring ace John Lester. McLovin, have you ever seen Paulie this fired up over his Cubs?
Well, it's funny. Just the question itself over his Cubs. His Cubs. Now, it's Fritzy's Broncos,
That's right.
Seaton's Yankees/Red Sox. It's my Dartmouth Green. His Cubs. Paulie, is that a fair statement?
I think it is. I mean, yeah, I don't wear them on my sleeve in the bad times. Believe me, I'm a front runner. But I have been a Cubs fan since I was 5. My first game I went to when I was 5. I listened to my grandmother. Yeah, you could pick me apart for more so liking the Cubs and the Sox. Dan can't because he likes the Browns and the Bengals. But, you know.
He liked the Browns when they went above 500 earlier in the season. He didn't like them before that.
When you get in the media, you think, all right, I'm going to give up allegiances, or you try to give up allegiances. When I saw the John Lester news today, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I feel like I actually became a fan of the Cubs today.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I'm really bored with the Yankees, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. At least the Cubs, there's like something to root for.
Yeah,
it's
some
like, man, this would
enthusiasm.
be awesome if they actually won. This would be so great.
Come on in, the water's scalding and painful.
Well, he may not get to many games next year, but Paulie, as he has mentioned, has showed renewed faith in his team.
Over, under 3 years, Cubs in the World Series. Is anybody actually going to take that bet that they'll be in the World Series? In it. Paulie,
I'm taking the under.
in 3 years, the Cubs will be in the World Series.
Yes. In the next 3 seasons, they'll be in the World Series. My grandma's 95. She's ready.
I just have to quote The Simpsons once here. One time, Krusty the Clown bets $100,000 on the Washington Generals. He said, they're due. They keep losing.
You know, the interesting part of that discussion is, as we talked it out further, we said, so who's got them in the playoffs this year? No. Or who's got them in the playoffs next year? No. So they're going from no playoffs
they're
to the World Series. It was sort of like, that 1 year they're going to put it all together.
Huge jump in 2017.
So what's interesting is we looked at the odds, and according to Vegas, they're still trying to work them out, would be about, in the next 3 years to make the World Series, would be about 4-1 against. That means I'll put up 100 if you guys will put up 400.
I got to tell you, I like...
So you were all in on that bet earlier, so I assume...
I was.
I really like the Cubs, though. I have to tell you, I like the Cubs. Because all these guys came on our show and said their minor league system is stacked.
Right.
So now they add these veterans. I'm afraid they bet against them. But I have to tell you, that 108 years is kind of looming in my head.
I mean, odds are really against you, like, historically with that team.
Yeah.
But it's funny to see the hope, and, you know, the odds, I can't believe, like 12-1.
Just one player.
You know, Tom Verducci wrote on the cover, picked the Cubs to win the World Series, I think 3 years ago.
Yes, I remember.
In front of that, I'm like, dude, you know.
But it was a call of a lifetime for Verducci.
Yeah.
Some people remember that, but if he would have got it that year, he would have had that on the front door of his house. He would have had, I picked the Cubs.
You know, we do a lot of predicting on the show. Predicting actual baseball is the most random
Does
science.
this make you any more likely to actually watch baseball?
Maybe.
Are you going to watch more baseball?
Maybe an inning, a half an inning. I would say that's 45 minutes of
Maybe
my
a
life.
little more Cubs.
You know what? You're going to
specifically,
check
but
to
in
see
general,
what the Cubs did the night before, and then other than that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's certainly not before the All-Star break, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is an excuse for us to finagle a work trip to Wrigley, though.
That's right.
It's a great excuse.
That's
No actual
now we're
reason, but we
talking.
could start working on fake reasons to pitch our bosses. Hopefully you're not watching.
Yeah, maybe. The boss had a chat with another Cubs fan, his pal Coach K, and he talked about going to Cubs fan when he was growing up, and of course, one heartbreaking moment.
When I grew up, I used to take the Damon Avenue bus to Addison, Addison to Sheffield, and with my buddies, even when we were 10 years old. I mean, it used to be you could do that in the city.
How did the Bartman game affect you?
I was at the Bartman game.
You were?
I was. I was in the right field bleachers, and as all that was going on, I was yelling, "Call a timeout!" No, I was going nuts.
I was thinking about that as you're playing the audio, and Coach K sounded like he's still upset about it, and I still am as well. That's the worst moment of my adult life. I really haven't had that many bad things to happen to me, and I'm not talking about just sports. Like, my kids have been relatively healthy. My wife's okay. My grandparents, the ones that were alive when I was an adult, are still alive. I've never had a lot of, bad things happen. I'm still so angry about that. It gets worse every year. Because, as I mentioned before, I was working on the Dan Patrick Show at the time. So not only were my Cubs going to be in the World Series, I was going to go and get to attend every single game with Dan Patrick. I had credentials in hand. Fritzy was on the show as well. Fritzy didn't travel at the time. I traveled more so. Fritzy may have gone. But win or lose, the experience of seeing the Cubs in the World Series at Wrigley.
Oh, that would be pretty rad.
Yeah.
One for a lifetime. Coach K was great, as he always is, as was Heisman candidate Melvin Gordon. You guys say you tend to cheer for guys that give good interviews. So, Seton, are you going to be rooting for Melvin Gordon for the Heisman?
Definitely. He's become one of my favorite interviews right now. Like, I hope, not only do I want him to win the Heisman, I want him to do well in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So he'll keep coming back. The dude's got a great personality, great laugh, a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
When we get in on the ground level, so to speak, with some of these great college players, and as we continue doing the show, it's like we establish a relationship with them. They become buddies with the show, and all the more reason to root them on, because then if they become big deals and all stars or all pros in their pro career, then we'll be hopefully having them on a regular basis. But nothing against Mariota or Cooper, but how could you not, after the last couple of appearances Melvin had, especially today, how could you not pull for him? Because
when you look at our history, I think I always root for Kirk Cousins, be saying Friday on our show. Russell Wilson, because he had heard of Against the Grain.
Yes.
When he was in college.
Yes.
Right. We can confirm that. J.J. Watt, you have to root for.
But then there's also
Matt Barkley.
Matt Barkley, yeah.
Yeah, we'd like to see these guys do well. But then occasionally there's a guy who we didn't discover, but we had on early in their career. They came on regularly, and then they kind of stopped coming on. Kevin Love. And it kind of stinks because I'd never thought that we, I'm not saying just Kevin Love in general, but there's some guys where you have a great relationship and it goes well. And then when, I wouldn't say Kevin Love hasn't exactly
And we
fallen
give him
on
a lot of love on the air.
He hasn't fallen on hard times. Not like Robert Griffin III. He's on hard times, but he used to come on all the time. Now he doesn't come on anymore, but I can understand why he doesn't come on. Guys like Kevin Love, I wonder if the message is getting to them or what, because Bud Selig used to be a great guest on the show, and people really liked him on the show, and he tapped out about 6 years ago. And it just changed my opinion of him. I don't think he's an honorable guy, at least with the relationship that we had.
Well, back to the Heisman candidate. Has ESPN tried to steal your scoop and report that Melvin Gordon is declaring for the draft?
A bit. They tweeted out on their main, Sports Center, which is their #1 Twitter feed. Millions of people follow it. Said, "This just in, Melvin Gordon is declared for the NFL draft." And it didn't say via Fox Sports, via DirecTV, via the Dan Patrick Show, whatever it may be. And I was surprised at that because unless they interviewed Melvin Gordon, I don't know what their source is on this story.
It was about 90 minutes after our interview.
90 minutes after, exactly. And so I was surprised because we didn't have it kind of halfway. We had Melvin Gordon saying it, and then we actually confirmed it with another direct source with this story. And I don't know. Now they've updated their story on their website that says the Dan Patrick Show has reported. But that's a way of kind of pushing it under the couch cushions, if you know what I mean. Because most people are going to see that Twitter feed and not click on the story because there's no story. He declared for the draft. That's it. So it was a little bit predictable. I thought they were better than that.
Well, maybe after the Heisman is awarded to Gordon, you have him back on the show. One interview that did not go so smoothly was the interview with Susie Schuster's husband, Rich Eisen, and it had some technical difficulties.
No.
Okay, I have an echo, Dan.
Oh, you do?
I'm just announcing it right now to everybody.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully they can get this thing fixed for the rest of our conversation.
Do you want to hang up and call in?
You know what? No, this is fine. I'm going to fight through it.
Okay.
I'm going to fight through it.
Okay, so can we...
There may be an I in Rich and Eisen. There is no I in Echo, but I'm a team player.
Yeah, that was disappointing. You know, we've had Rich on already for a number of weeks via satellite as opposed to just a straight-up phone. Or I'm usually the one that gets blamed for those types of phone or technical problems. So I feel absolved this time around. But
you did oversee the booking.
I did, but you know, there's a number of elements involved when you're doing a satellite talkback beyond just someone calling in and popping them on hold, which I've managed to somehow screw up a number of times just from someone making a regular phone call. There's some other elements and fancy words and mix minuses, and there's different things that have to be tested, which were supposedly tested ahead of time, but somehow something along the way got a little messy, and it's unfortunate that wasn't picked up until we were live doing the talkback.
Way to clear that up.
This one. No, I would say this one's my bad. I mean, you're supposed to have one button pushed in. Sometimes you don't. It is amazing that it wasn't caught beforehand, that Rich didn't notice that, or who knows what happens technically. But yeah, that is unfortunate. But luckily, he's a pro's pro and just powered through without raising too much of a stink about it.
Too much.
He did. Well, congrats, Fritzy, for not getting blame. Coming up, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Paulie gets a shaving.
The Box Score presents Great Moments in DP Show History.
Does that hurt? It's like a dry shave. We need to get you some shaving cream.
That would be fantastic.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History.
Oh my God, welcome back to the Box Score. Paulie, we've talked about it for a while, and after hours of deliberation, you have decided to shave that stash off. But before you do, can you please tell the rest of us what it's like to have Brooklyn Decker touch you, and does she actually smell like Christmas?
She does. I mean, she's a knockout. She's this close to you, and you think you'd want a supermodel, swimsuit model close to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm 12 years old again, and I can't control anything about my behavior, and I'm sitting there like this, like So again, let's not kid each other, man. Let's not kid each other.
We all would have been. I was like this, and I wasn't even getting shaved.
If you saw, I was trying to be relaxed, which is the easiest thing in the world to do. Not. But again, it's a great moment in my history. If I die today, I'm going to put that on a loop at my funeral.
Though at the end of the interview, she said she needed some more shaving cream, so we here at the Box Score have reached out to the good folks at Dollar Shave Club, and they have sent you some shaving cream and other accoutrements. What do you guys have there?
Yeah, I got the Dollar Shave Club. This is the pack you get every month. And the good thing is they didn't pressure me to shave because I've been shaving with their stuff all of this area. Not so much here, but more here and here for the past month. But this is it. This is Seaton's favorite, the One Wipe Charlie's.
I am a huge One Wipe Charlie supporter,
me too.
No joke.
And you can take them on the road with you.
Yeah, they do have a travel pack.
You know, lotion afterwards, the shea butter, which is better than shaving cream.
Lotion.
All the good stuff, ready to go.
Seaton, if Paulie had to pick one Danette to shave him, who do you think he would ask to do the task?
Wow.
Oh dear.
None.
He's not taking Todd.
I actually will take Todd because, well, oh God, I don't like being in a bathroom with him.
But he's a guy here who knows his way around the bathroom.
He's a gentleman. Todd is a gentleman. He doesn't make haphazard movements, declarative statements. So I don't think he's going to shave me in an intense way.
You could just leave it with the first part. I would get the second.
Trying to compliment you. I think Todd would be ultra disgusting normally in a bathroom, but ultra gentle, just like shave butter. DollarShaveClub.com.
See how he worked that in?
Well, maybe you'd want it to be McLovin since he took a shot at your mustache today.
That was just, I was actually sinking and I had a lifeboat. I couldn't think of anything to say. Seaton was like, why don't you ever insult Paulie? I'm like, I don't know, I'll go after the mustache. Why not?
It's an easy target. It's on a
It's an easy target. I actually was kind of thinking, I was sort of setting up. I thought you were going to tease that you were going to shave it, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't want to see what I didn't want to
be.
That
whole rant was a tease to get this to do this segment.
We also set that up. We workshopped
that. That's amazing. I had no idea.
Well, the mustache thing was in my head.
Right by me.
I love it. I love it. I had a lot of fun with it. My mom said it reminded me of her of my dad, which is weird, but in a good way. Yeah, and so you know what? One and done. Good to have a mustache. Mix it up a little bit.
Just to be clear, Brock, if you say anything just slightly negative about anyone in the front row, you have to be super careful that it's a safe topic. Otherwise, you'll hear about it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Fritzy, why don't you grab those materials, get them in your hand, get comfortable with the cream and blade.
Get more comfortable with the cream.
We'll be back, guys.
Have fun.
Fritzy, keep your belt on.
Okay.
You want to break out the chessboard,
Stick around. When we come back, it'll be Paulie's brand new shaved face. You do not want to miss this. We are back here on the box score. Paulie still off whacking back that bush on his upper lip. Fritzy has joined us again. We're going to miss that hair on his upper lip. But let's keep the conversation regarding mustaches going. Let's show you we're going to play a little something we call mustache lineup. We're going to show you some iconic mustaches associated with American cinema. You simply need to tell us who that mustache belongs to. You can either say actor or character. It's going to be row versus row, so Seton, you're on your own on this one. We're going to start with you. This is our first mustache. Please tell us who this belongs to.
Yeah. Adrian Peterson.
Ooh, can we chat? Can we steal? Not that I'm positive, but
You absolutely can steal back row.
I'm gonna say that's the Master of Disaster, the Duke of Devastation, the Count of Monte Fisco, Apollo Creed.
Yes, you were absolutely right, Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers. If he dies, he
How
dies.
on earth did you know that?
That's crazy.
That is amazing.
That is weird.
It was sweaty, and I just took a
Okay,
shot.
our next stash is for the back row. Can you tell us who this is?
Oh.
That's Sam Elliott, right?
Sure looks like him.
We'll go with Sam Elliott.
You're absolutely correct. We also would have accepted Wild Bill, the cameraman.
Yeah.
Front row, another one for you, Seton. Here we go. Can you please tell us who this mustache belongs to?
That would be Ron Burgundy.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It smells of leather and rich mahogany. Back row, you're up again. Here's the glory.
Oh,
That's got to be Hooper, Burt Reynolds, Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm in high-speed pursuit. Don't you hear good? This one is for everybody. Both rows get a guess. Seton, your guess first.
I seem
Interesting.
to recognize that.
I recognize that too. I feel like I've been sitting next to it for several months. I'm going to say that is Paul Pabst.
Back row, do you have a guess?
Oh!
Whoa. That's what I thought it was.
I thought that was Paulie.
This
Maybe
is a
it's
trick question?
Michael Jack Schmidt.
Okay, we're gonna go Michael Jack Schmidt to the Phillies.
I'm sorry, McLovin. It is you, my friend.
That's great.
Good job, guys.
like
The
it.
back row still wins, though. Is Paulie done? Can he join us?
Look at this guy, huh?
Well, it looks like Paulie's done.
there,
And on his way back,
baby
here he is.
Hey there, baby face.
Brock. You know, Brock,
Paulie,
I thought
how
this
are you
would be
feeling?
a better experience. Mixed feelings, Broccoli. Dollar Shave Club was nice enough to send us good product. I'm missing the mustache already. It's more traumatic than I thought. And then at the end of the shave, I was looking forward to using some of the lovely post-shave lotion that they have. But unfortunately, I lent it to Fritzy for a few minutes, and there's none left.
It goes real quick. That was a mistake letting me borrow that.
None left.
Borrow that.
Well, it's all thank Dollar Shave Club. It's the only way to shave. Only if you don't have a supermodel available. Stay with us after the break. The guys discuss Dan's appearance on Faraday, but one Danette missed it.
Danettes were texting back and forth, and all of a sudden, I'm not hearing from Fritzy last night when Faraday's on.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Is it so much to ask that you could have watched
I didn't
Faraday?
say I wasn't going to watch it. I just didn't watch it when it initially aired yesterday.
What were you watching?
I was watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Absolutely.
We are back here on the box score. Let's get right to it, Fritzy. How was the Victoria's Secret's fashion show, and how many of those models have you reached out to book in the last 24 hours?
It was fantastic, and I have called several. Wanted to see if any of them can get dressed up in a little
the show,
Santa
you called
outfit.
them?
How many did you
A couple of them were for personal reasons, but I did also throw in the fact that we'd like to see if at least one of them can show up at the Milford Man Cave in
Following
a
them all
little
on
Santa
Twitter now, I
outfit.
assume.
Oh, they're all definitely followed on Twitter.
In lieu of in person.
In lieu. And I'm waiting to get some responses from Adriana Lima, Alessandra Ambrosio.
Did you watch the entire
Miranda
show,
Kerr.
if you know what I'm saying?
I made it through the entire show. What happened after the show is nobody else's business. But it was a lot of fashion going on. And Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande performed, and it was something to
You
behold.
guys know my next door neighbor is a Victoria's Secret model. She had a party last night, and I
Tim.
swear to God, she had
swimsuit. I don't know if they were swimsuit. She had tall, leggy women walking in and out of our hallway all night long.
I love
She has it every year.
I'm a big fan of lady women. I like
leggy.
them.
Leggy.
Oh, I think
Leggy.
leggy. Did you get invited?
No, but we have an open invitation. They're really cool. They like the kids. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to mention to Fritzy to come over last night.
That would have been a good time. I would have brought my wings from that I was walking around the streets of New York City.
I'm sure you would have fit in.
Well, Dan did let Fritzy get away with not watching Faraday, but he did let the front row get away with giving him a little grief about being emotional.
And then all of a sudden it hit me that I didn't have any reality. My wife did. And saying that. So that was one of those moments. All right, jerk face, okay?
By watershed moment, do you mean just sobbing uncontrollably?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Did Tom Rinaldi follow you home?
I wish. I wish. If I was still working at ESPN, Rinaldi would have done a feature on me. He brought that piano. Every time he goes someplace, he brings a piano. Yes, Paulie.
Roy Firestone waiting on your front porch.
A man searching for his future.
Unbelievable. Seton is the master of when to put in that emotional music. And every time it happens, I know I'm going to be entertained for a minute. Because it like triggers a chemical reaction in Dan where he has to say something.
Jerk face.
Yeah.
It's always a front row production, and it's really just a matter of, are we both on board to go do this or not?
It's a coin flip. Who's going to say it first, Seton or I? But we are in sync on this one. I'll be like, Seton, he'll be like,
yeah.
And he'll press
Sometimes
it.
a hand. I
have this. Yeah.
Do you guys have any
We've heard that
feelings?
story, though. We've heard that story quite a few times.
Different variations.
So, and, you know, and, yeah, you have to make fun of it at a certain point. I'm sorry. There's just... Dan is no holds barred when it comes to things, and it's a lot of fun to also be that way.
Going time to his double wide over by the shore there.
Yeah, poor fella. How's he gonna
make it?
All right, Fritzy, who is on tomorrow?
Blazers All-Star LaMarcus Aldridge will join us. Chris Fowler of the Mothership talk a little college football with us. Takeo Spikes of NBC Sports Network with Pro Football Talk. He's going to join us actually right here in the Milford Man Cave to lead us off to talk some NFL tomorrow.
Thank you, gentlemen. Fare thee well to Paulie's Mustache. Catch us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here in Audience, home of the Dan Patrick Show and, of course, the Kingdom finale. Is that tonight? Yes, of course. If you're on the go, the podcast available on iTunes or podcast1.com. To Paulie's Stash.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!